Why can't a good person go to heaven without Jesus? I'm going to start with this. Let's just, for argument's sake, acknowledge what the rest of the world already knows. Are you ready for this? There are many non-Christians who are better people than us. Would you agree with that? There are many people who are not believers. They could be atheists. They could hold a different faith, and they're just better citizens than us. They are kinder to their fellow human beings than us. They are more generous with their money. Now, I'm not saying that that's true of all people everywhere, but would you say, for just the sake of argument, there are people like this, that you would say, that's a good person. I wish they lived next door to me. I'd want them on the school board. I'd feel very comfortable having them in my neighborhood. I'd love to get to know them, hang out with them. Nice people. So let's just dispense with the myth that Christians are good and non-Christians are bad, because that's ridiculous. Just look in the mirror or ask your spouse. They will confirm for you that Christians are not always good. All right? So we need to deal with that, because the world thinks that what we're saying is good people go to heaven and bad people go to hell, and you're bad, therefore you go to hell. That is not at all what the Scriptures teach at all. Period. And yes, it's important that I raise my voice during that point. Okay, so why can't a good person go to heaven or avoid hell without Jesus? Begs the question, what do you mean by heaven? What's heaven? Well, I'll tell you what the person who asked that question means. It's a place. Predominantly, it's a place. It's a place where there isn't suffering. It's a place where there is pleasure. It's a place, it's kind of like an eternal version, adult version of Disney World, where all your dreams come true, minus the Mickey years, okay? It's just a place. What do people call heaven? When people die and you try to console them, you say, oh, well, he's in a better place. That's what they mean. Heaven is, the afterlife is seen as a place which is better than here. And so you remove all the bad stuff here, and that's kind of like heaven. Kind of like heaven. So the question is, why can't a good person go to heaven? Well, the question begs, it suggests that they're looking at heaven as a place. It's not a place. Okay, it is a place, but it's much more than that. It's not less than that, but it is more than that. Why is heaven good? What is in heaven that makes heaven heaven? Jesus is what makes heaven heaven. The presence of God is what makes heaven heaven. Satan rebelled, and where was he cast out of? Heaven. Now, that means that he was cast out of the presence of God. He wasn't cast out of a place where God didn't reign. He was cast out of a place where God most definitely reigns. Does that make sense? Heaven is predominantly a presence and not a place. It is a place, but it's predominantly the presence of God. That's important. That's important. In the book of Luke alone, the Gospel of Luke alone, Luke records Jesus refer to the kingdom of God 31 different times. And he said that he was here to institute and usher in the kingdom of God and to lead people into the kingdom of God. So what's a kingdom? Matthew will record the kingdom of heaven, but they mean the same thing. What is a kingdom? It's a place where a king rules, right? Can you have a kingdom without a king? No, the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of God, is most definitely a place, but it's characterized by the rule and the reign of a king. And Jesus says, I'm here to introduce the kingdom, to bring people into the kingdom of God. The question needs to be reworded. Can a good person go to a heaven that doesn't have Jesus? There's no such thing. There's no such place. Heaven predominantly is characterized by the presence of Jesus. That's what makes heaven heaven.